Homecoming week in Detroit, now in its fourth year. Detroit Homecoming seeks out homegrown talent to come home and contribute to the city's turnaround. Tonight held in a very appropriate, if surprising to many, place, the old train station. Jason Colthorpe in Roosevelt Park, where there has been quite a show tonight there. In fact, it's going on behind you right now, Jason.
Well, I'll tell you, Devin, I won't hold it against you at all if you're like the many people who have been down here tonight, and a lot of folks who are here behind the camera and behind me taking pictures and video of the outside of the train station. You can see how well it's lit up, and with apologies to Lily Tomlin, the station really was the star of the show tonight. And it's a show that, it's homecoming, Detroit Homecoming, quietly playing a huge part of Detroit's turnaround, but this year tackling a much tougher subject.
The idea was to bring back people who could help support that, who had Detroit in their hearts.
The old train station lit up outside, and inside, a gathering unlike any in its heyday.
Not a lot of people have seen the inside of this amazing space.
It's Detroit Homecoming.
I thought these people who had grown up here, were educated here, moved on to distinguished careers elsewhere in the country, maybe they come back, see what's going on, reconnect with their hometown, and maybe they'd be inspired to do something of value for the city.
It's credited with attracting $300 million in new investment in the city, and stars like Detroit native Lily Tomlin, this year's honored guest, helped do that and more.
It's generated a lot of additional resources, financial resources. Plus, I think it's also sustained the momentum of the progress that Detroit's making.
Barbara Gervin Hawkins, a Texan now for 37 years, hasn't forgotten her East Side roots.
The concern has always been, through the 4 years that I've been coming, is what is happening in the neighborhoods.
She, like the handful of protesters outside tonight, wants to see investment beyond downtown and midtown.
The efforts are beginning the start of interest of people who have capital that can come in and do some things, but the neighborhoods are on the agenda. And I've seen that this year, and I'm happy about it.
As long as they can tap this resource, they feel no goal is unattainable.
Detroit's greatest export over the years is not the automobile, it's talent. And I think that's right. And what we do at the Homecoming is tap into that.
Quoting the urbanologist Richard Florida there. And if Miss Gervin Hawkins, that name rings a bell, she's an East Side native, grew up with a brother who was pretty good at basketball, George also, so quite the family lineage there. And also 2 more days of events here, so this is just the beginning of Detroit Homecoming. They'll be back in Corktown tomorrow at the factory and the DIA tomorrow night. Back to you.
Been a pretty amazing idea. Jason, talk though a little bit more about what you're hearing tonight about this neighborhood investment.
Yeah, it's not easy. I mean, it's something we've been tackling for years and years, trying to make a dent here. Well, it's not lip service. Tomorrow they're taking buses out to 3 West Side neighborhoods, Brightmoor, the Central High School neighborhood, and Livernois and 6 Mile, and they're going to see how engaged neighbors are there in the turnaround. How are they working together? And they're going to see what investments are possible there. Is it jobs? Is it something else? Is it infrastructure? So they're going to tackle this head on. Hopefully it has some results, Devin.
Results like the ones we're seeing behind you on the front of the station.
Pretty awesome,
it's really remarkable. All right, Jason.